Assalamualaikum and a warm welcome, everyone. We are back in the special podcast Suria KLCC and Friends ex MIASA Malaysia, which is an initiative by Suria KLCC every single year for World Mental Health Day. I'm Anita.
And I'm Aliza Kim. Alhamdulillah. Hello, everyone. We're thrilled to continue our Be Kind online campaign 2024. Today, we're exploring a fascinating topic, right, Anita?
Yes,
Amplifying voices, balancing lives, and we'll be discussing how individuals can use their platforms to raise awareness about social issues and mental health.
Yes, and for that, Aliza, we have two extraordinary guests with us today. Sister Zulaikha Zakaria and also Shasha Abedul.
Hello, assalamualaikum.
Welcome to the both of you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for being with us. And how are you guys today?
Good, we're good.
Good, alhamdulillah.
Excited and quite nervous actually.
Quite nervous.
Yeah.
And we are too as well.
Everyone's always nervous, right, at the beginning. Then we warm up.
Exactly. And we only have 40 minutes as well.
That's right.
So we're trying to keep with time juga. Okay. So Ika, as we
Yes.
know, congratulations first and foremost.
Thank you so much.
So Ika is the director and writer of Project Exit, not High Council, but she is also the co-director of
Yes.
Project High Council. So Ika, maybe to begin with a little bit of your background and maybe your experiences that have made you choose this career path.
Right. So hi. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is
Waalaikumsalam.
Zulaikha. And a little bit of my background. I started I'm an Astro staff actually. I work in Astro Shaw. I started as a writer and then I decided to start directing for Project High Council.
Okay.
But I was the co-director. So I'm not the one who make really the final call. Then after High Council decided to, start to try
Take risks.
Yes, I guess.
be brave.
Why not, right?
not, yep.
So decided to direct my first series that I'm doing alone, and that is Project Exit. And a little bit of how it is related, my background in like my personal life to Exit. I think this is something that I've learned ever since uni. The stories that I like to tell and I like to commit myself to do. It's something that is familiar to me in a sense where because I honestly feel, right, we in this world, you're not, in a way, things that you go through you're not the only one who go through what you go through.
That's right.
And the moment you think, and I think this is something that I figured out when I'm doing Exit, realizing that, if you watch Project Exit, there are a few inner thoughts, right? And how these inner thoughts, I thought it was special and only catered to me. Then I started to realize how people say that it's relatable to them. You have inner thoughts and doubt yourself and things that you, like how you struggle to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about all 10,000 things at a time.
Of course.
And 3 different voices in your head come to your mind.
That as well.
Yeah, and tasks and, regrets or whatever that you have during the day. And I feel like at first I thought it's just special to me and catered only to me. And then when it's out there, people start to speak out how they can relate to them. And I think that's how it started. I start to identify what are the stories and experiences that I had in my life throughout, growing up and stuff. And I'm starting to realize how there are ways that I can connect to people and start people to bring people together and making them realize that they're not alone by sharing my stories.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ika. What about you, Shasha?
Hi.
Arriving to this career path and then being on Exit and doing this.
Okay, so actually, to be really honest, I didn't plan on being an actress. It just so happened that I was working on the same line of the industry. I was working actually in a casting agency. So I was doing all of the behind the scenes where I was just doing auditioning for people for TV commercial and whatnot. And then at one point of my life, I was I get interested. My interest rises, and then just see these people doing stuff in front of the camera. I was like, why not I try? Because I love trying new things.
Right.
Like I love exploring, be it career or anything in life. So that's how it got me here. So I started off with TV commercial first, and then I dived into acting, dramas and whatnot, until I realized that I actually have that power of sending a message to people.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
through acting and storytelling.
Yes, through acting and
Awesome.
storytelling, and I also find it. I love what I do.
You love what you do.
To have that side of life, where you can express what you feel inside in front of the camera to show everyone, it's a blessing.
Awesome.
Mashallah, thank you so much for sharing your backgrounds. I think it's so relatable, right? That we are all able to be vulnerable and share. Okay, so shifting a little bit, I was wondering, have you always found a voice in sharing about social issues, perhaps starting with Ika? Is this something that, you fell into, you chose to do, and maybe some parts of, working on Project Exit that made you want to speak out even more on social issues?
Right. It's interesting because I honestly think, directors, being a director, it seemed like Shasha, right? I don't plan to be a director. I didn't know that I would end up doing what I'm doing right now. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Same.
Oh, right? Right. And then I realized, oh gosh, there's just so many books to read, so many, just so many things to remember lah. And realizing that my brain couldn't keep up, and why I wanted to be a director, why I wanted to be a lawyer last time, because I wanted to fight for women and children's right.
I see.
But then, getting law, if you take law, it's not just, you don't just get to choose what you want to know and what you don't want to know, right? Then I stumbled upon, I grew up with internet is already existing when I'm like a teenager, so realize that how people can have a voice, but at that time not as big as what it is right now, right? Before, people they don't really know the power of being and sending or commenting whatever they want to say online as what it is right now.
And the harm as well.
Yes, and the harm as well.
Yes.
And back then, few years back, it was people are doing like videos on YouTube, and back then, like, you only have new like YouTubers from Malaysia, and it's quite new, and they're doing all this short sketch, right? And I realized how it is, so impactful, and I think it's aligned to what I wanted to do, fighting for human right. And that being said, I just chose, the difference is that I'm choosing the different medium, and it is what it is in this industry, creative industry.
But it's also very interesting because with Project High Council was more on bullying, and now coming to Exit is more trauma, and we zoom into anxiety, depression, going for counseling sessions, and then also suicide, of course, which is a huge taboo topic, as we know, Aliza. But hopefully normalizing that it is okay to seek for help, and you should. You know what I mean? So I think that's so important, Ika. So thank you so much for bringing that out in the open as well through storytelling. Through media. Shasha pula?
Okay. Actually, I realized that I only got interest talking about social issues when I myself went through that issue. Right? And I feel the importance of telling people that mental health is so important. Like something that I know it's not something that everyone is comfortable to talk about. It's not a topic that you can just simply put on the table. So have that wisdom and knowledge, courage, and also experience for whatever that I've went through to help. I feel like I'm helping also, in a way, helping the society or the people that went through this kind of problems, that it's okay.
But
Then you're not alone.
But what do you think hinders people to actually share this openly? What stops people from doing that? Is it shame? Is it fear?
I think it's a part of that shame, fear, and maybe not enough support.
Not enough support. That's
Yeah.
actually good.
You know what I love from hearing both of you stories? I love your story because, you know, we can come from a different background or a different interest, but then bring that interest into the social sphere and use it for good. You know, you want,
Yeah.
for you, it's like kind of like an obvious connection, you know? Being a lawyer is fighting for justice, and then talking about social issues is also justice.
Yeah.
And then for you, also finding a medium, actually both of you, finding a medium
Yes.
where you can connect even better than just, you know, talking, but being creative and connecting with the heart and with art, right?
If I may just quickly
Yeah,
add,
sure.
when what hinders people to actually voicing out, right? I honestly think my take is that I think everyone is trying to appear normal.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what is normal, right?
Right,
And
right.
appearing normal online, that's a whole different game.
But
Everybody poses and have similar filters and wear the same thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, doing their makeup in a certain way. And it's to appear normal.
Betul.
Then again, I think that is also where we're coming from. All of it that,
Yes.
that is here, right? It's trying to figure out what is normal. And we're trying to say that normal is not being normal is also normal.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
Yeah.
that's such a great point. I was watching some meme the other day where they
Love
and
memes.
The,
I love
the memes.
Yeah.
And they were saying, you know, if you look at photos from like 1950s, everyone looked different. Everyone's, you know,
so true.
like have their own
Yeah.
characteristics.
like you
But-
know, right?
Yeah.
They come from the 50s.
Yeah. But now it's like everyone looks the same. They have like this
Yeah.
stereotype blocking, you know, that everyone has to look like this to be normal.
Yes.
But even that, wouldn't you agree that this is part of the problem?
It is
And
part
if
of
you're
the
not
problem.
fitting into that block,
Yeah.
then something must be wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at home, this is when you think, you know, why am I different, right?
Yeah.
And this pressure comes in, and then this comparison, and that's why you build a online persona,
Yes.
which is so different. 'Cause
Yes.
I mean,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
we meet people all the time offline. And when we meet them in person, they're so different, right?
Yeah, so
Sister
different.
Lisa.
Absolutely.
I feel like
Absolutely.
it's like we're living in two
lives.
Yeah.
two
It's
dimensions,
like,
two different
I thought I
worlds.
knew you, but I don't know
I
you.
don't know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Well, thank you so much.
Just latching on to this, you know, being online, you as someone who is, you know, becoming more and more known online, I was wondering, have you seen any form of cyberbullying, or have you, you know, experienced any cyberbullying yourself online? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so obviously now we know that cyberbullying is something. It's something online. You know, people tend. Yes, we have that freedom of speech, but apparently some people don't know how to use that correctly.
Oh, misuse it.
Yes,
100%.
misuse it.
Yes.
Yeah, that somehow leads to a bigger issue.
Yes.
Like recently, there's cases where people
And ended their life.
Yeah,
by
ended their
suicide.
life
Yeah.
just because of cyberbullying. And for me myself, to be really honest, I've experienced it, but not to the extent which was that severe. It was just mild. It was just mild that I could take it.
I don't know how people
Yeah.
do it though, Aliza. I mean, when MIASA gets bashed for something, and when I read the comments, I'm like, okay, chuck it. Because
Yeah.
it hurts me.
Yeah.
And you know, I live with a mental health condition,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So you go into the mode where
Yeah.
then you feel depressed, then
Yeah.
you
Yep.
feel really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But then I don't know how you guys do it. Oh my
You
god,
know,
that's a lot.
in America, we used to have this nursery rhyme, right?
Right.
Stick and stones might hurt my, you know, break my bones, but
Yeah.
words will never hurt me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
No,
words
that's
always
not-
hurt me.
I know.
What? Words always hurt me.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
think there has to be more awareness about what constitutes cyberbullying,
Yes.
what is the vocabulary, and also
Yes.
some awareness on how to actually healthily work on yourself and perhaps ignore or address. Is there somewhere that we can,
Which we
you know?
spoke about in the first episode, so
Yeah.
check that out as
Yeah.
well. We were with Min, you know, one
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
lawyers, and
okay.
she's a TikToker as well, right?
Yes, yes.
So she spoke about the legal framework and what can people do, what are the actions that can be taken, all of that. So we are kind of covered, but yet not enough. So hopefully we can do more. But I would say we should be empowering everyone online to be more
I agree.
responsible, right?
Yeah.
And also to call it out if someone's cyberbullying someone else, right? I think that is so important, and not be supportive of it, especially like what we've been seeing recently again,
Yes.
Aliza,
Yes.
where people feel so pressured in that sense and
Yes.
no way out. and people are just supporting that act, and then at the end of that at the end of the day, that unimaginable act of suicide happens. Nauzubillah. So okay, maybe moving on, Ika, to you.
Yep.
What have you personally seen, and how has cyberbullying maybe impacted the young people, because they're the ones that are now more often on social media?
That's true. I'll just start by I do read comments, and not so much for me, because I think for me I've distanced myself. There's that wall for me, right? Like social media is a place where I do my research.
Okay. Yes.
Not so much that I'm fully involved in the game. It's different,
Using it
you know.
positively,
Like for example,
right?
Shasha, she's an artist. She had to put herself out there in that sense, right? And the research for me is reading the comments online and see how people react to it.
Betul.
And I am starting to see a pattern, which is quite interesting if you actually read the comments. And it's usually, people are so creative the way that they say things. And when I read it, I think it's easier for me to take it light, because it's not directly to me.
Right.
So it's not fair. I can't really speak on behalf, and it's terrible for me to look at it in that perspective. But I could not imagine being in a position where people are making fun of you.
Yes.
And I don't know how they cope with it, Kak Anita and Eliza. I really don't know how they do it. But one thing that I can say, all these, artists and influencers, they have this thing that they built, right? There's this armor around them, right? And that is something that I would like to congratulate. And if anything, I feel that you do you.
Yeah.
And if that keeps you going, and if that keeps you in the position, because people who make the living out of the internet, they need to appear a certain way,
Betul.
right? And you cannot get through it. All these words cannot just it shouldn't cut you. And I feel that is something that I look up to. I look up to, the younger generation rather than looking down on them. I think I can safely say I champion on younger voices. I feel I look up at these younger generation, and there's something that I can learn.
Right.
And online, that is the place where, like I said, that is the place where I do my research, and that is the place where I sit down and reflect and start to question myself. How lucky am I? Was not raised in that
Right.
era,
Betul.
but I don't look down on them. I really don't. I think there's something that that is bravery out there. I couldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ika. I think that's so powerful. But Shasha, coming back to Ika's point, how do you prepare yourself? I mean, I know, when as celebrities, right? I mean, you choose that because you're passionate about acting, but it comes with the negative side of it as well. So how do you, because you live with a mental health condition as well.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare yourself mentally for what is coming? Because Project Exit series is coming pretty soon, November 1st, guys. So how are you preparing yourself right now?
Okay. As for now, my support system is my friends and my family.
Your friends and
My friends and my family. And honestly, whatever is gonna happen in the future, I know myself how to control it. Because I see, maybe some people might not have that power like I do, that I could actually, I'm changing negative to positive. So I'm seeing these people as an entertainment for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but yes.
Okay.
So
You take it lightly, right?
yes.
In some
So
ways,
I as much as I accept positivity, I accept negativity as well, but I change it to positivity.
Okay.
So when these people come to me with negative thoughts or even words, I just say to myself every single time. I just say to myself, "Oh, this is an entertainment for me." It's like how you sit on in one table with a person, and suddenly 1 out of 10, the person is just couldn't. It's just not the same wavelength. So instead of just why is she like that, just smile and
Right.
accept that part of her.
I
or
think
him.
this really takes a lot of healing, don't you think? You
Yes,
must have
actually.
you must have faced something to
Yeah.
get you to this point.
Yes.
Can I ask you about that? What was it? What did you burn out somewhere, or did someone hurt you, or what happened to get you to this point? And then added on to that, maybe 3 tips for anyone that's listening who's in that position to maybe grow to your position. Yeah.
Okay, so actually, I do actually have an experience where I shot a drama, drama series.
Okay.
And then I was playing a character. It was just like a supporting character. But then, when that series came out, I got a comment saying that the person was saying, if can I say in a BM?
Can.
Yeah. If aku jumpa dia ni kat luar, aku bunuh dia.
If you see this person outside, kill them.
If I see this person, if I see you outside, I'm just gonna kill
Kill
you.
you. Yeah.
And it really shocked me.
Of
Like,
course.
there's
Who wouldn't?
such human being would say that stuff online
Yeah.
to me. I got really like,
Yeah.
you
What
know,
did I do?
So
right?
shocking.
This person so triggered by you.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
maybe not by me, but the character.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can't
Right. So,
separate
yeah.
her from the character.
Yes,
Meaning
and
you're doing a good
Yeah,
job.
yes,
It
I
was
was
just such a wonderful job.
So but I couldn't like process at the time, or that point of time. So I was talking about to my industry friends, and then my industry friends would say that, when people come up to you and say that, it means you're doing a great job. It means the character that you bring is alive,
Yeah.
and it gives impact to people, and that's when that's when all
You
the
reframe.
yes, like oh, I could give that such of impact to
Impact, yeah.
people. Okay, why not I take it,
Positively.
A different way, yeah,
positively,
reframe it,
yeah.
yes.
So to be in Project Exit, it's
It's huge,
so-
right?
Yeah, it's huge, and it's
Yeah.
something that I'm grateful of, and it's this masterpiece, this Project Exit, the story itself. It's something that I'm speechless. I couldn't say it.
Mashallah,
Yeah.
mashallah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
you
kita,
grew
you
a
can
lot
tell me-
during that 40
yeah.
days then.
Yeah.
You discovered a lot about yourself as well.
Yes, I discovered a lot about myself. I feel like I'm finally putting myself at full use as a public figure.
Mashallah.
I think
Yes.
that's one of the key things,
Yeah,
right? Making
yeah.
yourselves useful for others.
Yes.
Mashallah.
Because it's not about me anymore. It's
Yeah.
about the
It's
people
a-
around
it's
me.
a bigger goal, kind of.
Yes.
Just gonna draw out that one tip. So if someone wanted to grow in the same way as Shasha, then you do the mental reframing.
Yes.
Yes.
Google what that
That's-
is
that
and
is
figure that one out.
powerful.
Yeah.
You know what my daughter says, because it's different for her, because she went through bullying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Very terrible bullying
Yeah.
experience, and that was why I shifted schools for her. So it was a very long story, but to cut it short, so she said, "Mommy, now I've learned how to cope. When people say bad things about me, I say thank you and move on."
Oh.
Wow. And the best thing you can do is say thank you and smile.
Yes.
I'm like, oh
actually,
my God, that's so powerful.
that would
It
actually
is.
Yeah.
kill that person.
Oh
Actually.
my gosh,
Yes.
that's so mature. Though.
She is. She is.
Yeah.
If I can just add one other thing, because not that I have a following like you, but I have a small community of my own. I have a small community of my own.
It's small, but it's big.
Alhamdulillah, they're
It's so
they're very
impactful,
sincere
Aliza.
people. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So once in a while, I do have people coming in from I don't know where, like out there in the world, not even Malaysia, and they'll say certain things. But because I've had this community for 10 years already, in the beginning, I trained my community. I'm like, hey guys, I have this person. Everybody go and say a prayer for them. Underneath, better be a positive prayer. So everyone prays for them first. And then I always write, we have lots of people coming to our community. Sometimes they're Muslim, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're in Malaysia, sometimes they're not. Make them feel welcome. If they say something wrong, remind them, help me, because I can't see everything.
Betul.
So actually, you can train your community to be your eyes and ears, and other ones will alert me of other things, so then I'm able to fix it. Now it's like autopilot.
Right.
Yeah, anyone that says anything negative, hey, don't say it like that, la la la. So it's autopilot now.
Right.
So you can train your community.
I think it's I
Yeah.
always hold on to this word saying if people do bad to you, just kill them with kindness.
Oh my gosh, my mother taught me that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
It's true. And I think coming to your point as well, Lisa, one of our advisors, would always tell us, because, when it comes to mental health, there's a lot of stigma, right? With stigma, then it leads to discrimination. Then there's a lot of injustices. And sometimes when we do this work in mental health, it can be potentially extremely frustrating.
It is.
So one of the things that he tells me all the time, Anita, if people don't know, you must teach them.
Yes.
So everything begins with knowledge. So
Yes.
don't take that personally.
Yes.
But even when they say something, then they don't know. So you take that responsibility and teach them. And this is exactly what we're doing here
Yeah.
today, right?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Very, very happy to be with all of you. Now, okay, on Project High Council. So you were co-directing, and we know that it's very much focused on bullying, which is also something that we don't very much talk about it openly.
Yeah.
Now, for Suria KLCC's theme this year, we want to talk about #BeKindOnline. Now, even for you, what do you think about bullying per se, and also relating that to cyberbullying? Is that kind of similar? Is it different? And how can we all, as the community, as what Aliza said earlier, how can we all do better, despite being a director, an actress, a nobody?
Okay.
What can we all do better?
Okay,
for
thank
the
you,
community?
Kanita.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting whenever people think of Project High Council, they would think that it's a story about bullying.
It's the first thing you
would think of,
Yeah.
right? It's actually, if you watch it, it's toxic masculinity.
It is.
Oh.
It is in many ways, right? And toxic masculinity is also, in a way, it's part of how the world functions, and also then going back to how the world function with bully, right? It came from where?
Yep.
Insecurities.
Betul.
Right? And bullying, to me, how is it similar, and how is it similar with online bullying? It's just another way of them bullying.
Betul.
And it's quite interesting. When I think about bullying, I just think of, it came from this person who are very insecure.
Yes.
And with that in mind, instead of feeling angry at them, I feel sorry for them. When I feel sorry for them, I can look at them and just go, okay, there's a lot going on for you. I get it. I don't know how to help. If that makes you feel better, saying those things to me makes you feel better, then go ahead. And it's the same thing for online. I think people are just saying things based on their insecurity, and the insecurity are drawn out by feeling scared, feeling seen, but don't know how to deal with it. And I think what it is and how we can function being in this position that we're at right now, if we are in a position where people are coming to you, attacking you with things, again, reframing how you look at things. And I find it entertaining. That is just how it is for me right now. I find it entertaining, and I just feel sorry. And with that in mind, because I feel sorry, I feel lighter. I do feel lighter in reading them now. Like, seeing them, reading them, dealing with people who are actually... It's so weird, right? People came to a point where they figure they find ways to bully you in different ways.
Yeah.
Online, face to face. Sometimes it's someone senior.
Physical bullying, sexual bullying.
I know.
emotional
Sometimes
bullying.
people, someone who are more senior than you can come to you and just say, I just know things more than you. You don't know. You don't have the right to speak. That is also another form of bullying, I feel. And it's...
Where does it come from, right?
You're right. Where does it come from? And I think insecurities. Yeah.
I think that's such an important point, and I like how Ika comes from that point, because I think a lot of people, when we talk about bullying issues, Aliza, that people focus a lot on the victim,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
we forget that the person who is bullying the person
Yes.
actually has their own insecurities, like what
Definitely.
you said,
Yeah.
but they have their own life experiences as well, and that could
Correct.
be a defense mechanism as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of trauma that they've gone through in life, and so that's why I always say, don't just focus on the victim, because the perpetrator also needs help and support. And so I hope that we are able to also reframe that to
Yeah.
understand that both parties need to be helped as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
I
So-
really love these points, because we're not just only talking about ourselves, but
Yeah.
actually
Right.
putting ourselves in the other person's shoes
Empathy,
as well,
right?
right? Yeah, so it's become so mature. It's not just
Yeah.
me.
Right.
Mashallah. Okay, I think I've already jumped again with your question, but I'm going to latch on a little bit more. We've been talking about your support systems and how you reframe to take some of the comments as entertainment. So I was wondering, are there other practical, maybe little tips? I'm still on the tips thing, because
Tips are very important.
Yeah, because I
We
think
love
they're so
tips.
important. Because a lot of people I want to be better. I want to think better, but I don't know how to do it. So when you want to bounce back, when you've felt emotionally tired, mentally tired. You say that you talk to your friends, but what do you talk about? How do they cheer
how
you
do you
up?
open up, right?
Yeah, how do you open up? How do you share? Do they ask you what's your protocol? If there is any, do you have to go to some cafe? I'm gonna have a coffee. You're gonna have a croissant.
Because being vulnerable is difficult, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a
Yeah.
very good question. How do you do it, Shasha?
Okay. Firstly, I would, if I get socially burned, I would take a time out from
time out?
from social media, because
Oh, yeah.
social media is it's
Pressure, right?
It's
Pressure.
pressuring, and it's as much as we meet people, different people out in the real world. Social media is also a real world.
Oh my God.
Not so real, but it's real people in there.
I don't know how
yeah.
people go on Twitter and X. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's a different world, man. I tell you.
I just, oh my god, I'm not even. I
I don't as well.
I don't know what to say.
'Cause the
you
thing
type
is-
something type something. I don't know what to type.
Yeah, 1,000 thing comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah. No, the thing is like when you're like this, there's still some decency, right? Because
Yeah.
other people can. But when you're behind the keyboard, it's like
Oh
nobody
my
knows.
God, yeah.
Nobody knows
you
who I
say
am.
everything.
Yeah,
Right?
but it's scary that people don't know that actually you can track your IP address.
Yeah, that too.
Have you done
Yeah,
that?
if they're smart enough to think. Yeah. So first I would say that I'll limit myself to social media.
Okay.
If I feel like
That's a good tip.
if I feel burned out, or if I feel like
Detox,
Yeah,
right?
detox, because social media would make you like unconsciously you would compare yourself to others.
Betul.
You would do this, you would do that without
Social
without
comparisons.
thinking. It's just that you're scrolling, but your mind thinks, oh, I feel like I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
unconsciously, you don't know that. But once if you get to know that part and overtake that part, you know how to detox from social media. So the first one would be detoxing from social media. Have like a schedule, time limit on the phone.
Oh yeah,
on
you can
social
do that
media.
now.
Yeah.
Time limit
Yeah.
on social media. And second, maybe take a time for yourself, sit down, relax, think your thoughts through. That's really important before you reach out to people.
Mindfulness. Right there.
mindfulness.
Yes, before you reach out to people, because I feel like having that self-awareness and wisdom before you talk to people is really important.
Oh my God, her emotional
Yeah.
intelligence is high, man.
Yes, yes.
Very good, Shasha.
Yes. So much wisdom from
So
such a
much,
small
I
body.
know.
Yeah, but it takes a lot for me to do
Lived
that, to
experience.
understand.
This is what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you can't just straight away go up to people that you don't know, or even your friends, or maybe Ika, as much as I'm close to Ika, I cannot just
Right,
straight
and
away
just
like,
vomit
Ika,
everything out, yeah.
everything, you know.
Which sometimes we do, but yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, but which sometimes we do, and in many ways that helps too.
Of course it
Yeah.
does.
I mean,
you
like, you
know-
can do that with a certain circle, group
Certain,
of
yes, of
people,
course.
you know.
That's
that,
what support is so
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
But you can't do with random
With
people.
every- yeah.
You can do that with your
Certain
circle.
people.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
you have to select your
You
circle.
must,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
must
Select
be
it.
selective.
Because like people like us, maybe like Ika, I could just go straight up to Ika, and Ika would understand me,
Yeah.
and I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Because we live in especially in our industry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
our
It's
wires are
relatable.
not.
Kan?
Our
It's
wires are
relatable.
not.
You can resonate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a lot already,
Yeah.
Aliza. I think they've covered pretty much our topic of today.
Yeah.
For today, be kind online.
Yes,
But
yes.
so maybe last words, Ika, from you to our audience. How can we all be kinder online? Be kinder in person.
Gosh, it's a scary question, really. How to be kinder online? I
Yes.
think take a step back before you decided not to be so kind. You know what I mean? I think being kind, it's a hard thing. It's like,
Pause, guys. Take a
Take a pause. I get it. Like sometimes, life is hard. You have a bad day. You just want to say things.
Breathe.
Yeah, just breathe, breathe for a while, and then I don't know if that feels right for you to type it out. I believe when you take a pause, whatever that you think might be right for you at that time,
Yeah.
you start to realize how, oh my God, I was being ridiculous. I was being so angry. Yeah. So start with that. I think to be kind online is to take a pause and take a breather, and I think it's also not just online, just as a person.
Betul
Yes,
lah.
true.
It's
That's
okay to just, look like you're thinking for a few seconds before you answer that person. People might think that you're in your head. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Because I think it's hard to be kind. I think you are fighting yourself, your inner demons, because that's the first thing you want to do.
Yeah.
When people are not being so nice to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to be kind is to in a way take a pause and fight that urge for you to just lash out. Yeah.
I think as humans, naturally, we're very reactive.
Correct.
When someone says something, we want to just say something.
Yes.
You know, that
Yes,
urge.
yes.
So like you said, pause. And I think the other thing, a key thing is also maybe brain dumping. I like that a lot. So whatever that you're thinking, just kind of scribble that across.
Yes,
And
yes,
when
true,
you
true.
look back, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. What did I just...
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
What am I saying?
Yeah, what am I thinking? So
yeah.
that way you don't really say it.
Correct.
So you've got time to kind of reevaluate your thoughts as
yeah.
well. So I
Yeah.
think that could be one way as well.
True.
Lisa. Awesome.
And what about you? Any last words for the Be Kind online movement, and also maybe from the angle of someone who has a following? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as much as I pretty much we have this the same point actually, but like Ika said, take a pause and remember to always put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Empathy. Yes.
Yeah, empathy.
I mean, how can
before-
young people raise awareness, more awareness? Like you know, because you've got the platform, and like what
Yeah.
Lisa said, you have the followers. So should, as an example, because I think it's a great idea when you have a platform to really talk about social issues. Because I remember when we had our last episode, we were with Kimberly and Naeem, and Kimberly
Yeah.
was saying, "Oh, I've never spoken about mental health on my own platform," and she was also thinking, "Why haven't I not? Why have I not done it?" And so maybe Shasha, kenapa? Why do we not do this when it comes to social issues? Is it because we feel we don't have enough knowledge? You know?
yeah. I
But you
think-
have the lived experience, and you can just come from that experience, right? Because
right.
there's no right and wrong.
Because you're the expert. in
You're the
yourself, right?
expert
So you can
of your
you can
own
share.
experience. Yeah.
Okay, I would say as much as I do have a decent experience in my life, even on social media, I would think twice before I say, because I cannot just simply put out words. I need to utter my words properly in
Right.
order for people to understand. Because I'm the type of person that I just don't like saying things spoken without having to benefit the other people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
Thinking.
I cannot
think it
just say
through.
just be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to back it up, right? You
Yes,
have to have something.
yes, yeah. If I was to say one word, I would make sure it should have an explanation and something beneficial out of it.
Can I just add? I feel like I have known Shasha. I've known Shasha a while now, but I think exit is the part where we actually get to know each other,
Yeah.
and how she is really trying to learn and learn in many ways, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that means, pursuing and trying to understand what it is out there
Right.
to heal herself first.
Yeah.
And that is something that I admire. I don't know whether I've said that to you, and because she knows that she has a following, right? She knows that she has the power and the tool and the platform to voice out. Educating yourself first before you
Yes.
start to educate other people.
Yes,
Betul.
that's
And
true,
that is
that's true.
something that for someone who is as young as Shasha to look at it in that perspective, that is
So mature, right?
that is so mature.
Alhamdulillah,
I mean, it comes with
Alhamdulillah.
responsibility, of course,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And I think your cast are also mature lah.
I
sebenarnya.
do not. I just got lucky lah, Kak
No,
Nita.
because even when we met Miro, at
They
first I was
are.
like, oh my god. And when he started speaking, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, there's so much depth in him for such a young person.
I know
Yeah.
people come to casting. Usually, it's like you give them a script and they will just read it, right?
Right.
But my vision of casting, it's okay. You do that, but then after that, we'll talk. Because to me, that is how
That's why you do
You
your
actually
selection,
see
right?
the
Yeah.
Mashallah, I've learned so much from both of you today. Thank you so much. I mean, not only learning that whatever background you come from, you can still speak about social issues. Reframing, mashallah, is a powerful tool. Mashallah,
pause.
yes, take the pause for yourself when you're consuming, and also when you're going to put something out, and be sure to think about what you're going to put out and
Yes.
make sure that it's beneficial to other people.
and be
All beautiful
Yeah,
points.
And be mindful
Yeah.
about our words, and knowing that if you have a platform to be responsible.
That's
and
right.
also, of course, to educate, right? I think this is so important. And of course, Shasha, in your role as Jannah in Exit, like you said, when you read the character of Jannah, you then realize this was you 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and I think that really helped you. And we see that growth now as you're speaking. I mean, even when we spoke a couple of days ago, I think you just grew in that couple of days, and today she's a different person, Ika.
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's
mashallah.
amazing.
Amazing, extraordinary.
Alhamdulillah.
I think it's the exposure as well.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And I think now that exit is coming out, I think you're now being more prepared. We can now see that. Alhamdulillah, very, very happy. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Ika, for being with us. Thank you so much,
for having
Shasha.
us. Thank you.
No, thank you. I think it was really beneficial hearing both your
Absolutely.
insights, Aliza.
Before we go, I just wanted to just
Yes.
praise Anita a little bit as well.
Oh.
You know, with MIASA and with Anita, I think the Malaysian scene has really grown a lot and given
you.
the courage, the boost to a lot of artists and other people in other industries to be able to talk about mental
Alhamdulillah,
health as well.
alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much.
Very,
to
very happy.
Anita
Thank you so
and
much,
MIASA.
Aliza. I mean,
Alhamdulillah.
it takes a village to do all this, you know. And we're very, very happy, very thankful. I acknowledge the privilege in being able to do this work, and I see how, what we've done has paved way, alhamdulillah, for us to normalize this discussion. Who would have thought talking about mental health in KLCC?
Oh my gosh! Right, look at this.
And now with exit, and now on the big screen.
Yes,
yes.
Mashallah, alhamdulillah, very, very happy.
Alhamdulillah.
So congratulations once
Congratulations.
again,
Thank you,
Ika,
thank you.
director, writer.
Thank you so
Shasha
much.
is the main
Thank
cast.
you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much
everyone.
for having
Everyone,
me.
Miro, Kimberly Chua, Malia,
Mashallah.
Miro,
Yes.
everyone. Thank you so much. And of course, our producer, don't forget Mo, who's right here. Thank you so much. And of course, Suria KLCC, thank you so much for doing this, for creating this platform for us to be able to talk about mental health openly, and of course focusing on this year's theme, be kind online, but folks, be kind in person as well. So thank you so much, Aliza. Signing off from KLCC, Suria KLCC, in our podcast, Suria KLCC and Friends X MIASA Malaysia. Take care, everyone, and take care of each other.
Assalamualaikum.